One of the constant thoughts in my mind when I'm starting a business was, is this going to fail? Am I going to be labeled like a failure? And that fear got my back a lot of times. And it prevented me from actually launching something that maybe was going to work, or maybe it was going to be successful, and it was successful. But how do I restrain that thoughts and actually jump into starting a business and avoid that fear that we always have in our heads? And keep in mind that fear would always be there. There's no way of getting rid of it, but it's actually something that you can turn into a thing that can help you out. Not even starting, but even in growing your business and developing your business. So let's have a look at how you can overcome that fear. The first thing that you gotta do to overcome that fear is just recognizing that fear is normal. Like I said, because you're starting something that you are not familiar with. Keep in mind that when you start a new job, for example, that first day, isn't it fearful? It is fearful. Everybody has fear on that first day on the job because you're going into something that you don't know. You're meeting people that you don't know. It's the same thing as starting a business. You're getting into something that you don't know. You have fear of that maybe it might fail, or maybe it won't work out, or you don't know what you're doing. It is normal. Just acknowledge that fear is there, that it exists, and it will maybe be with you for some time. Because even though you will get used to maybe the day-to-day in your business, and you get used to maybe not having fear in that specific day-to-day scenario, but most of the times you're gonna run into things that you basically don't know or don't have an idea on how to handle. Hiring a new person, hiring for a new role, going into a specific down in the company. All those things are new. You will feel fear, and that's just keep in mind that you need to acknowledge that it's there and you're gonna live with it. The second thing you can do to overcome the fear is do research and planning. Do as much of the homework that you can do to start that business. For example, to research the market. Is this something that other people are doing? Then go and looking into what they're doing and what works for them. How people buy. How do they buy? Where do they go? Do I need a physical store? Do I need an online store? What do I need to do to make this business work? Maybe you can find some people that can help you out. Find a mentor. Find someone that has done it before and that can help you in this business. That will help you have a better foundation so you are not jumping into something that you don't know, that you have zero knowledge around. That research will help you out in creating that confidence into launching that business. So in my case, for example, I jump into podcast that helps out doing business, and I listen to people that in those podcasts that had done it before. How did they do it? What strategic things they did, what skills they have, what things worked for them, what things didn't work for them. So I was heavy into podcasts when I was starting my business. That helped me out a lot. Also at YouTube has some very nice people that has and explain their experiences and what they did that worked and didn't work. This channel is an example, of course. And other thing that can help you out is books and reading. That also you can learn things that you don't know and experience from other people that can help you out. The third thing you can do to overcome that fear is do financial and risk management. So do a plan around money. How much money you're gonna need to start this business. Am I able to stay in my day job? That's one of the things that I would recommend all the time to diminish the risk of starting your business, is try to stay in your day job as much as possible, because that you have a steady financial income that can cover all of your personal expenses, and then anything extra can go into the business. And even if the business generates a little bit of money, then you can put that money into the business again to grow it. And that's something that I did. And I did that for over 5 years. And staying in my day job while I was grinding at night in the business and growing. But you can do a plan. You can do a plan around the financial things. Have a caution, like maybe an emergency fund, so that if you actually need to jump on the business full time, then have a caution. Like for example, I always have a caution of around 1 year. Some people say that's a lot, having a caution for 1 year for covering personal expenses. But even 6 months is to have that in the bank, just in case of an emergency, if you need to take some money out of there. But do a plan, and you can have business plans. There are a lot of business plan templates out there that you can use to do that financial forecasting, and maybe what do you need to actually break even in the business or to make a profit. The other thing that you will do is embrace failures and learn from that experience, because it's going to happen, and it's going to happen multiple times. So that fear of failure that we have, and when we are starting that business, like I said at the beginning, acknowledge it. Then the other step is to actually embrace it, because there's gonna happen. You're gonna fail multiple times. We are gonna fail multiple times. I failed multiple times. But what did I do when I failed? I learned about that. I did the corrections that I needed to make, so the next time it didn't happen. Or maybe reduce the risk. But like, there's business is like a roller coaster. Every day you will have ups and downs. Every week you will have ups and downs. There will be good things and there will be bad things, but you have to embrace those. The thing is that learning about those bad experiences, because it's the only way that you will grow yourself as a person, and it's the only way that you will grow then the business. The only way to grow is by learning, and sometimes learning means that you might need to fail, and that's what's gonna push you to actually do some learning for yourself. So keep in mind, embrace that failure and learn from them. The fifth thing that you're gonna do is build confidence. And how can you build confidence? Like I said, with education. Surround yourself with resources that will help you out diminish that anxiety around my fear of failure. And like I said, one thing you can do is podcasts, and I did a lot of those in my time. But reading also books, and that helps out a lot. There are a lot of courses online also that you can take that will help you out to get some level of confidence when you're doing things. For example, if it is a YouTube channel that you want to launch, there's a bunch of courses online on how to launch a YouTube channel that you can probably do. The same for podcasting, you can do the same. Writing online, there's a bunch of courses to write online. In the business and in technology, there's a lot of courses there around businesses that relates to technology that you can go and see. There's a lot of free resources too out there that you don't have to pay. The other thing to take in mind is your mental health. You need to have a work-life balance. You need to have a way to detach yourself from your side hustle, from your day-to-day job, and invest in yourself so you can have your mind clear. When you have your mind clear, means then that you are able to make better decisions in your business. You are able to have better solutions to problems that you have. You are able to find effective and productive ways to take your business to the next level. And that has worked for me. Like, I usually, for example, try to take the weekends free for me. And in the weekends is when I have those great ideas on what to do, on how to solve a specific problem. Traveling also helps. Like, if you go for a travel, maybe a week, a vacation with family or whatever, you are disconnected from your business, you're disconnected from your job, but in that week, you are able to think clearly because your mind is in a different state, and then you can come up with ideas and solutions to the actual problems that you're facing in your business. And that has worked very good for me. It works like great. Sometimes when I'm on vacation, I take some paper and notes and keep putting my ideas in there as notes. Do the same. Like, take your phone and start putting those ideas in your phone. You don't have to develop the idea. Just put it there, things that you're thinking about when you're on vacation, so when you come back, you actually have this list of things that you can work on. The sixth tip is to actually start small, and I don't know how many times I've said this in this channel. Start small, an MVP, a minimum viable product. Start that business as small as possible. Provide the value that customers need in a very small and practical way. That way you're not risking it too much. You don't have to work that much. You don't have to jump full-fledged into it. You don't have to spend a lot of time. Like, if you have just a half an hour one day, 1 hour, then you can spend that 1 hour doing what's necessary to launch that business. Because you're not doing a big thing, there's not a lot to invest, and you can start getting feedback if it is going to work. If you start small, you can launch faster, and you can start getting that information from customers and see if there's something that will work out. Seventh thing is to look for support and guidance. Look for mentors, like I said. Chamber of Commerce, meetups, local groups, getting to mastermind groups online. There's a lot of small communities that you can get into that can help you out. Like online e-commerce, there's a bunch of communities out there that you can join. Facebook groups, there are also a bunch out there that you can join. Like I said, try to get some mentors if you can find advisors. So try to join any of those communities that can support you, and you can ask questions and they can maybe move you and get you to the next step in any specific problem that you have. The eighth thing and final is to celebrate your success. Have milestones, and when you reach that milestone, celebrate. Do what you like, buy something that you like, but celebrating those milestones will help you also calm down your anxiety and that fear of if you are doing good or not. And try to make those milestones not that big either. Try to make them small so you can have multiple celebrations during the year maybe, and when you accomplish something, that will help you with your mental health, and that will help you also with your motivation in the business. I celebrate also my success. If I want to buy a game to play, a video game, then I buy it. Or a Lego, I like to build Legos, then I can buy a specific item that I want, and that's my celebration for that specific moment. Or just buy a piece of tech that I also want to buy. So those things work out for me, and I celebrate those small milestones because you put a lot of work in there and you overcome that fear that you actually had. So you actually deserve to celebrate that and deserve to be happy about overcoming that obstacle that was preventing you to enjoy that business. So thanks again for staying until the end. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so you can keep getting more videos like this. Thank you.